Welcome to Frontline Neuroscience. Today, our topic is how your brain is secretly controlling your life. Have you ever wondered why you make certain decisions even when you know they are not good for you? Why do people procrastinate when they know they should be working? Why do they continue unhealthy habits even when they understand the consequence? Why do they sometimes react emotionally and regret their actions later? The answer may be hidden in the most powerful and mysterious object in now universe, the human brain. Your brain is constantly working behind the scenes, influencing your thoughts, emotions, decisions, and behaviors. Often it does with your conscious awareness. You may believe that you are completely in control of your life, but science suggests that many of your daily choices are shaped by processes happening deep within your mind long before you become aware of them. Every second, your brain processes enormous amounts of information. It receives signals from your sense, analyzes your environment, predicts possible outcomes, and guides your behavior. All of this happens at incredible speeds. Most of these operations occur automatically, allowing you to function without having to consciously think about every action. Imagine if you had to manually control every heartbeat, every breath, every muscle's movement, and every thought, life would become impossible. Instead, your brain automates countless processes so you can focus on important tasks. This efficiency is one of the reasons humans have become such a successful species, but it also creates hidden influences that shape our lives in ways we rarely notice. One of the most important concepts in psychology is that the brain seeks survival above all else throughout human history. Survival depended on avoiding danger, conserving energy, and finding resources. As a result, the brain evolved to prioritize safety and efficiency rather than happiness or success. The ancient survival system still operates today, even though the world has changed dramatically thousands of years ago. Avoiding risk helps humans stay alive. Today, the same instinct may prevent people from pursuing opportunities, starting businesses, speaking in public, and chasing ambitious goals. Why you feel fear before trying something new? Your brain is often trying to protect you. It preserves uncertainty as potential danger. Even when there is no real threat, your brain may encourage you to remain in familiar situation because familiarity feels safe. This is one reason people remain stuck in jobs they dislike, relationships that make them unhappy, or routines that limits their growth. The brain prefers known discomfort over unknown possibilities because uncertainty triggers cautions. Other powerful force influencing your life is the brain reward system. Every time you experience something pleasurable, your brain releases chemical that reinforce the behavior. One of the most famous of these chemical is dopamine. Many people think dopamine is the chemical of pleasure, but it is actually more closely related to the motivation and anticipation. It drives you to seek rewards and repeat behaviors that provide satisfactions. This system helped our ancestors survive by encouraging action necessary for life, such as finding food and forming social connections. In the modern world, however, this same system can be manipulated. Social media, video platforms, games, and many forms of entertainment are designed to trigger dopamine responses. Every notification, like message or exciting piece of content provide a small reward, encouraging you to keep coming back. This is why many people find themselves checking their phones repeatedly even when they have important work to do. Their brains have learned to associate this behavior with immediate rewards. The challenge is that the brain often prioritizes short term gratification over long term benefits. It would rather enjoy a reward now than wait for a larger reward later. This tendency affects countless areas of life. When someone chooses junk food instead of healthy food, the brain is often responding to immediate pleasure. When someone procrastinates instead of working toward a goal, the brain is seeking comfort in a present moment. When someone spends money impulsively rather than saving for the future, the same pattern is at work. Understanding this tendency is crucial because many life outcomes depend on the ability to delay gratification. People who learn to resist immediate temptations often achieve greater success in education, finance, health, and relationships. Other fascinating way your brain controls your life is through habits. Habits are behaviors that become automatic through repetitions. Once a habit is established, the brain requires far less energy to perform it. This is why habits can be both incredibly useful and incredibly dangerous. Think about brushing your teeth, driving a familiar route, or typing on a keyboard. You probably perform these actions without much conscious thought because they have become deeply embedded patterns. The same process applies to negative habits as well. Overeating, procrastinations, excessive screen time, negative thinking, and other behavior can become automatic through repetitions. Once these patterns are established, they operate with little conscious effort. Many people believe they lack willpower when they struggle to change habits. In reality, habits are often controlled by natural pathways that have been strengthened over time. Changing them requires patience, consistency, and repeated efforts. Your brain is also constantly flirting information. Every sound you are surrounded by more sensory input that you could ever consciously process. To avoid overloading, the brain decides what deserves attention and what can be ignored. This flirting system influences how you see the world. If you focus on you're being noticing more problems. If you focus on opportunities, you become noticing more opportunities. The brain often searches for evidence that support exciting beliefs. This phenomenon helps explain why two people can experience the same situation yet interpret it completely differently. Their brains are flooding information through different perspectives, expectations, and experience. Belief themselves and are other powerful form of mental control. Many beliefs are formed during childhood through family experience, culture, education, and social environment. Once established, these beliefs can influence behavior for years without being questioned. If someone grows up believing they are incapable of success, they may unconsciously avoid opportunities that challenge this belief. If someone believes they are resilient and capable, they are more likely to persist through difficulties. The brain seeks consistency between beliefs and actions. This means people often behave in ways that reinforce their existing self-image even when that image is inaccurate. Fear plays a major role in how the brain controls behavior. Fear is not always negative. In fact, it is essential for survival. It helps people avoid dangerous situations and respond quickly to threats. However, modern fears are often psychological rather than physical. Fears or rejections, fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of criticism. These fears can become powerful barriers preventing growth and achievement. However, modern fears are often psychological rather than physical fears. The brain treats social threats surprisingly seriously throughout human history. Belonging to a group was crucial for survival. Being rejected could have severe consequences. As a result, the brain develops strong emotions responses to social situations. This is one reason public speaking ranks among the common fears, even though standing in front of an audience is not physically dangerous. The brain may respond as a thought it is significant threat. Stress is other factor that dramatically influences behavior. When the brain detects stress, it activates system designed to help you survive challenging situation. Heart rate increase, attention narrows, and energy become focused on immediate concerns. While this response is useful during emergencies, chronic stress can create problems. It can impair decisions, make reduce creativity, weaken memory, and increase emotional reaction. Many people spend years living in states of constant stress without realizing how much it affects their choices. Sleeps also play a critical role in brain functions. During sleep, the brain processes information, strengthens memories, and performs essential maintenance. When sleep is inadequate, decision making, attention, emotional control, or productivity all suffers. Yet millions of people sacrifice sleep is pursuit of work, entertainment, or other activities unaware that they are reducing their brain's ability to function effectively. One of the most surprising discoveries in neurosciences is that the brain is highly adaptable. The ability is now a neuroplasticity. It's mean the brain can change its structure and function based on experience, behaviors, and learning. For many years, scientists believed that adult brain was relatively fixed. We know that is not true. No natural connection can form throughout life, allowing people to learn new skills, develop healthier habits, and change pattern of thinking. This is incredibly important because it means you are not trapped by your current mental programming. Even if your brain has been influencing your life is unhelpful way, you have the ability to reshape those influences over time. The first step is awareness. You cannot change pattern you do not recognize. By observing your thoughts, habits, reaction, and behaviors, you're being bringing unconscious processes into conscious awareness. Once awareness, you can start making intentional choices rather than automatic ones. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause and evaluate situation more carefully. Instead of following habits blindly, you can replace them with better alternatives. Mindfulness is one technique that helps develop this awareness. By paying attention to the present moment, people can also observe thoughts and emotions without immediately acting on them. This creates space between impulses and action, allowing greater control over behavior. Other powerful strategy is designing environments that support positive behavior. Since the brain responds strongly to surrounding, changing your environment can make good habit easier and bad habit more difficult. For example, keeping healthy food visible encourage healthier eating, removing distraction improves focus. Surrounding yourself with motivated people influence your mindset. Environment often shapes behavior more than willpower alone. Goals are also important because they provide direction for the brain. When goals are clear, the brain begins looking for opportunity, resources, and strategies that support them. This process can make progress feel more natural and purposeful. However, goals work best when combined with systems. While goals define desired outcome, systems define daily action. Consistent actions repeated over time create lasting results. The most successful people are not necessarily those with the highest intelligence. They are often those who understand how their brains work and use that knowledge effectively. They create habits, manage directions, regulate emotions, and maintain focus on long term objectives. Understanding the brain does not mean eliminating every challenge. You will still experience fear, temptation, stress, and uncertainty. The difference is that you become better equipped to manage them rather than being controlled by them. Your brain is an extraordinary tool. It has allowed humanity to build civilization, explore space, create art, develop technology, and solve complex problems. Yet, like any powerful tool, it can either help or hinder depending on how it to used. Many people spend their entire lives reacting to unconscious pattern, never realizing that hidden mental processing or shaping their decisions every day. Others learn to understand these influences are gradually take greater control over their lives. The choice is not whether your brain will influence you, it always will. The real question is whether you will remain unaware to those influences or learn how to work with them initially. Every habit you build, every belief you challenge, every fear you convert, and every skill you develop changes the structure of your brain in small but meaningful ways. Over time, these changes accumulate, creating new possibilities and new outcomes. The person you become in the future will be shaped not only by external circumstances but by the pattern operating within your mind. Understanding those patterns in one of the most valuable forms of knowledge you can acquire, because when you understanding how your brain is secretly controlling your life, you gain something incredibly powerful: the ability to stop living on autopilot and start directing your life with purpose, awareness, and intentions. And that may be one of the greatest adventures any human being can possesses. I hope you like my video. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel, comment it, share it, and support me. Inshallah, we'll meet in the next video. Allah Hafiz.